Now on to some politics, and Member of Parliament for Takwan Swayam, NPP Member of Parliament George Mekuduka is accusing former President John Dramani Mahama as being hypocritical. Now, the former president said over the weekend during the NDC's unity walk that it is about time that those behind the signing of the Ghana Post GPS contract are brought to book, just like how Madam Jifa Ativo, former Minister of Transport, resigned over the 3.36 million Ghana cedi bus branding deal under his administration. George Mekuduka, however, says this is a hypocritical statement since there are many other alleged corruption issues that came up during the tenure of former President Mahama, and nothing was done to the individuals involved in these alleged cases of corruption. He's saying that if anyone has any evidence to show that there was corruption involved in the awarding of the Ghana Post GPS contract, the person should bring it forward.
Were people punished in the Senate scandal? There were so many Sada, Suba, Woyome, and so on. And you have the impudence to talk of this. You should be ashamed. You see, as a former president, you shouldn't allow yourself to be ridiculed in this way. You shouldn't allow yourself to be ridiculed. You have so many examples that we can hammer on that we've left them over. We have Sada, we have Suba, where trees were planted in a Harmattan season in the northern part of this country, where people jailed for where people sacked. So what are we saying? The Ativo thing was an obvious thing that anybody at all would have called for her resignation. And I believe we need to debate this, genuinely and fairly, rather than comparing apples to mangoes.
So in your view, there's no issue of corruption in the Ghana Post GPS deal? For now, for what I've been told and what I've seen, I don't think there is any foul deal. And if you have any evidence, you can bring it up and it will be investigated accordingly. Now, the Member of Parliament also addressed what former President said about the controversial statement made by George A.C. Boateng, Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa. Now, the former President stated over the weekend that what was said by Mr. A.C. Boateng is not something that warrants someone being called to Flagstaff House to be forced to write an apology and for that person to sign, in the words of Mr. Mahama. But George Mekuduka is saying that these comments are out of place and that the law has taken its course with George A.C. Boateng.
You would have even pushed them to you either do it or leave it.
Wouldn't that be an unfair statement to make, that the former President Mahama would have pushed his appointees to make such statements?
Yes, because Mahama Yariga says so. He didn't come up to say anything. He didn't, sack him. The chair for their party, Mr. Kofi Potefi, also said, that they've set up a committee that is to form jobs or create jobs for NDC supporters. Was he reprimanded? Was he? We have other scenarios that Joseph Yamin said that he was going to take NDC supporters to Brazil. Was he reprimanded as a deputy minister? So we have examples to show. And he was in charge then. What did he do then? So how can we come up and pretend as if, you see, sycophancy and hypocrisy is what is killing this nation. And we need to talk to them and advise ourselves moving forward. Of course, I will not adapt to what Mr. Isi Boateng said, His Excellency Isi Boateng said. But we should also look at the platform that he stood on. He was addressing TESCON people. So obviously, some political, excitement may fall in and induce him to say certain things.